So 1.3 has probably got some good stuff with lines. You know, maybe I should kind of jump to the word problems. The word problems are sort of at the end. If I just let's start with 15 here, see what happens. Yeah, this might be fun. So assume that between 2007 and 2010, messaging became an increasingly popular, yeah, I guess it did. The number of messages in thousands reported by a microblogging company can be modeled by this function. So there it is. I'm going to just blow that up a little bigger there. T of x is 16.699. I think x minus 120,310. What is this? X is the number of years since 2000. I mean, that's important. When you're reading these word problems, it's important to define the variables. What's X? It's the number of years since 2000. What is Y? Or what is Y? It's this T of X. What is it? It's the number of text messages, I think. Oh, it's in thousands, by the way. So if the answer came out to be 2, that's 2,000. If it came out to be 10, it's 10,000. It's in thousands. What is the slope? I guess that's easy. What is the slope? 16 point. I mean, you guys, I'm sorry. You remember about lines? Y equals mx plus b. Y equals mx plus b. The slope is that number, right? We had a nice big discussion on lines. Here we are again. I feel like you know that, I guess. That's the slope. 16.699. Oops. What did I do wrong? I put point. Maybe that's a damn comma up there. That's probably what it is. Oops. Yeah, okay. It's tricky of them. Sorry about that. That's a little comma. That's 16,699. Yes. What a period looks like. All right. Cool. I answered that question. Look at this. I love this question. Usually, it'd be nice if I made you write it yourself. It's nice when you got these multiple choice. It makes it a lot easier on you. But interpret the slope is a pretty cool question. I just want to make a few comments. Slope is always, you know, that rise over run, like we said, or the change in y over the change in x. But when they want me to interpret it, then I got to put some meaning on it. That comes from a word problem. They wouldn't ask me to interpret it if it wasn't a word problem. So if it's a word problem, they want me to interpret what this means. So let's think about this. What is the y in my problem? Number of text messages. Okay, so it's number of messages per, what's x in this problem? Years? Years. So it's the number of text messages per year. Not a big deal. Not too hard, but maybe you're not used to doing that. You're used to finding the slope, but maybe you're not used to interpreting the slope or thinking about the slope. And the slope is a rate. I've used the word rate of change. And when you think of a rate, you know, the most popular slope is miles per hour. That's a good slope that happens in math problems or real world problems. Distance over time, miles per hour. This one's not. This is number of text messages per year. And apparently, let's see what this says. From 2000 to 2010, the number of messages increased by 16,699,000 per year. Yeah, I think that's the answer. Do you? It says it increased. You know, way down here in D, it says it decreased. Why would it decrease? What would it be if it decreased? What would be different?
Negative.
Thank you. It'd be a negative 16,000. That means it's decreasing 16,000 per year. So it's not that one. I think it's that very first one. 16,699,000 text messages per year, I guess. They're confusing me with these thousands, but I think I got it. Cool. That's good stuff, you guys. This is good stuff. Look at this problem. Yeah, so I don't know. I jumped over the first 10 or 12 problems, which was probably slopes and lines. I went straight to these word problems. Maybe I should have spent a little less time in 1-1, but that's okay. This is good stuff here. Let's do a couple more of these and we'll get out of here today. The life expectancy of American women T years after 1950 is given by this formula. Okay. All right. Like I said, I kind of want to blow that up. A of T. So 0.1 T plus 72. Now just let's stop here a second. What's the input variable? T. And what is it? The years after, the number of years after 1950. Number of years after or since or after 1950. Right. So it says all that up there. And then what is the y value? The y value is this function value. They're not using f of x, they're using a of t. That's okay. That's the y value. And what is it? The life expectancy of American women? I guess that's what it is. The life expectancy of American women. Okay, which is kind of like the number of years they live. Life expectancy. Okay. All right. Hey, in 1950, what was the life expectancy? Please, in 1950, what was the life expectancy? 72. How did he get that? He plugged in a 0? That's when this problem sort of starts. Right, in 1950, this problem starts. T is 0, you plug in 0, and they have a life expectancy of 72. Hey, I guess their life expectancy, is it getting better or worse? Or longer or shorter? It's getting longer. How do you know? It's got that little positive slope, so it's going to be increasing. 0.1 every year, I guess. 0.1 every year. You guys with me? Okay. Let's just, I'm asking other questions. Let's answer their questions. The A-intercept. That confuses me. But I guess they mean Y-intercept is 72. You know what that is? What I just asked you, by the way. I said, when this problem started, what was the life expectancy of women? And that would be 72. That would be the A-intercept, which means the life expectancy of American women was 72 years in the 1950s. Do you guys agree? Be cool if when I wrote on here, it worked. Anyway. The A-intercept is blank, which means the life expectancy of American women was 0 years, and that doesn't make any sense. And I guess they're switching the input and output and trying to confuse you, right? So it's A. Yeah, that's what it is. And I should type all that in, but I don't think I will. I guess I will. What is the slope of the graph? Please tell me the slope of the graph. 0.1, he says. Do you guys agree? You learned a little bit about slope. Interpret the slope as a rate of change. This is good stuff, you guys. This time they make me write it. The rate of change of this function is, I think I'll type in 0.1. And then they want me to, because the rate of change is the slope, and then they want me to interpret it. That's that sentence again. I guess I could, if I click this little arrow, I can see some choices. Is that what happens? I don't know. Before I look at the choices, what would you interpret the slope as being? Hang on, I'm going to help you. The slope is 0.1. If you think of it as 0.1 over 1, and you think of this as life expectancy of women, that's what it was, that's the Y value, over the number of years since 1950. What's kind of a little funny about that is they're kind of both years. I mean, the life expectancy is in years, measured over a certain number of years. It's kind of a funny one, but what would you say? Every year since 1950, their life expectancy goes up 0.1. Right. Their change in Y is 0.1. Their life expectancy is 0.1 for every year that goes by. For every X. This is X changing. This is Y changing. That's what a slope is. Let me just see if what are my choices here? What is interpret the slope or the rate of change? The life expectancy per year. I like that one, I think. Life expectancy per year. Nope. I screwed up, huh? Years of age per year after 1950. Maybe that's a better way to say it. Sorry. Years of age. Huh, okay. Good, okay, I say it. All right, this is fun. Ooh, profit is good. Cost is good. There's a lot of good word problems. I might have to have some good discussions with you about that as we move forward. I'll just say this. I don't know how it comes into play, but let me say this. In business, there's a lot of good word problems with profit, revenue, and cost. I like those, and I assigned several of them, and I haven't talked about this, but real quick, when you're in business, let's just say this. When you sell your product, you get some money coming in, that's your revenue. That's called revenue. And then you bring in all this revenue, but you got to pay your light bill, you got to pay your employees, you got to pay for the nails and the hammers, whatever, your equipment. So that's your costs. So when you take your revenue and subtract your costs, that's all the money you bring in, and that's all the money that goes out for your cost of doing business. Well, what you're left over with is called profit. So this is a good thing to know. Now, they may just talk about profit and cost as separate little issues, but there'll be a time here, it won't be long, where they'll tie it together. Maybe they'll give you a revenue equation, they'll give you a cost equation, and they'll try to make you create a profit equation, and you simply subtract a couple equations. All right, we got to the end here. Listen, maybe Tuesday we'll do something similar, but again, I want to do a quiz. But if I don't know, you guys didn't have any requests, huh? Or maybe I just didn't get to them yet. Or maybe you didn't get this far yet, but I don't know how helpful this was today. Again, maybe I should have jumped to 1.3 or 1.4 a little sooner. Anyway, maybe we'll do a little more of 1.3 or 1.4. If you got requests, I can turn on the computer and find your requests Tuesday, and then we'll take a quiz. So thank you.